a report on the food deficit mitigation strategy and urban transfer program is presented by the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable July Moyo. Cabinet would like to advise that grain distribution increased during the week beginning 20 June 2024. A cumulative total of 51,415 metric tons of grain had been distributed to vulnerable and food insecure people by 25 June 2024 as follows. Manicaland Province 7,780 metric tons, Mashonaland Central 5,891 metric tons, Mashonaland East 5,207 metric tons, Mashonaland West 6,228 metric tons, Mashingo 10,243 metric tons, Matabeleland North 3,250 metric tons, Matabeleland South 4,803 metric tons, and Midlands Province 7,845 metric tons. Additionally, a total of 2,816 metric tons had been collected across all provinces under the Zundera Mambo Ispasha Senkosi program. Cabinet would also like to advise that all the people benefiting from the food deficit mitigation strategy and urban transfer program in both rural and urban areas will be expected to be involved in public works programs. Cabinet received and approved a request to amend the African Peer Review Mechanism national structures as presented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Honorable Dr. F.M. Shara. In 2023, the then Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Trade, who is now a serving commissioner in the Public Service Commission, Ambassador J. Manzo, was appointed the African Peer Review Mechanism focal point person representing His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, at the African Union. But in order to ensure that there is continuity and consistency in the reporting on the African Peer Review Mechanism issues by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, the current Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, has now been appointed the new African Peer Review Mechanism focal point person. The system has also been amended to ensure that going forward, the substantive Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Trade automatically takes over as the focal point person for the African Peer Review Mechanism for Zimbabwe. Cabinet received and noted an update on prices and availability of basic commodities in the economy during the second quarter of 2024, covering the period April to June 2024, as presented by the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable N.M. Ndlovu. The second quarter of 2024 was largely characterized by stability in the prices and the availability of basic commodities across all provinces, both in ZiG and US dollar terms. The ZiG currency slightly appreciated in value by 0.51% against the US dollar during the period under review, with the tight monetary stance that has been maintained having resulted in exchange rate stability, which has translated into the stability of prices of basic commodities on the market. The market is well stocked with millennial and its price has been stable, ranging between ZiG 100 and ZiG 103, and between US dollar $5.30 and $8.50 in United States dollars currency for a 10 kilogram pack. The price of a 2-liter bottle of cooking oil has been stable as well, ranging between ZiG 54.63 and ZiG 56.50, and between US dollar $3.30 and US dollar $4.70. The bread price has also remained stable, ranging between ZiG 14 and ZiG $14.50. Sugar supplies have relatively improved across the country, and this price has also remained stable during the months of May and June. The price of laundry soap remained unchanged, ranging between ZiG 23.13 and ZiG 23.50. The prices of most basic commodities in the formal sector are gradually converging with prices in the informal market. And the prices of some basic commodities such as cooking oil and mealie meal decreased in response to the measures that have been put in place to deal with price increases, which were witnessed during the first quarter of 2024. There is improved ZiG uptake in the market, with transactions on point-of-sale swipe machines seem to be dominant in major formal retail outlets. Most outlets have pegged their products in ZiG, while some few still display their prices in US dollars, although the prices are payable in both currencies. In most retail shops, 80% of the formal retailers' transactions are currently in ZiG, while 20% is in United States dollars. Cabinet received and noted the National Health Strategy Performance Report for the 2021 to 2024 period, as presented by the Minister of Health and Childcare, Honorable Dr. Mombeshora. During the first half of the National Health Strategy, life expectancy for female population increased from 66.5 years to 68 years, whilst life expectancy for males remained at 61 years. The country met the recommended 2010 World Health Report threshold public health expenditure per capita in 2021. Public health expenditure per capita has been increasing since the start of the implementation of the National Health Strategy. There was a general increase in the availability of medicines in health facilities from 51% in 2020 to 54.1% in 2021. In the second quarter of 2022, almost 96% of public health facilities had at least 80% of the essential medicines in stock. Anti-malarial ARVs and anti-TB medicine stocks remained adequate during the period. Zimbabwe has made progress in responding to the HIV pandemic over the years. In 2021, the proportion of people living with HIV who were put on antiretroviral therapy was 98%. The AIDS mortality rate continues to decline. The World Health Organization removed Zimbabwe from the list of 30 high tuberculosis burdened countries in recognition of Zimbabwe's success in reducing the burden of TB disease in recent years. Similarly, the national malaria incidence has seen a steep decline of 70% in the last 3 years, from 32 cases per 1,000 in terms of population in 2020 to 9 cases per 1,000 in terms of population in the year 2022. Given that about 90% of Zimbabweans access health services public health system, the government of Zimbabwe is upgrading and expanding the system to provide all the requisite services. The government of Zimbabwe introduced the quinary level care, which is now the highest level of care meant to offer super specialized services. The first quinary hospital is being established and is currently under construction. Government has also made significant progress in the development of new health infrastructure and the refurbishment of existing facilities. Over 78% of district hospitals in Zimbabwe have fully operational theaters to perform emergency maternity surgery, and 93% have kits for resuscitating newly born babies. Overall, the health sector has made significant progress towards achieving the targets set in the National Health Strategy. Cabinet received a noted report on the visit by His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, to South Africa for the inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa, as presented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Honorable Dr. Frederick Shaba. His Excellency the President attended the inauguration ceremony, which was attended by several heads of state and government and former presidents at the invitation of the South African government. In his inauguration speech, the South African President called for unity among fellow countrymen. I thank you.
Thank you very much, our Chairperson, for presenting today's cabinet highlights. Over to you, colleagues, for the first round of 3 questions. Then we have our honorable ministers to respond to those questions. Then we move to the second round again of 3 questions, then we get responses. After that, we call it a day. Who is going to start? Yes. Over to you. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Josephine Mukio from ZPC. Through you, Chair. I noticed the Minister of Health is here with us. There is the issue of the current cold or flu that is going on. Maybe just to update the nation, or maybe to just allay fears. What are the measures that are being put in place to contain it, and should people be worried, or it's just the ordinary flu? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question. Yes.
Maxwell Tabataba from Star FM. My concern also goes to the Minister of Health and Childcare. Minister, I understand surely government is doing a lot in terms of building infrastructure, building hospitals and stuff, but it looks like most of the buildings at the moment, most of the hospitals, they are struggling with medicines, they are struggling with the consumables. What is government doing to make sure that hospitals are fully capacitated so that when patients go there, they are not referred to private facilities? Because looking at most people, they can't even afford going to private facilities.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Over to you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. Josephine, the first question was not discussed in Cabinet today, but I'm going to arrange for you so that you can have a discussion, questions and answer session with the Minister of Health and Childcare, Dr. Mongeshwara. You advised me of the dates, but possibly this week. You can invite anyone else. The second issue from Star FM relates to hospitals struggling with consumables. that you have any plan that has been put in place, Dr. Nombeshwara, to deal with that challenge?
Thank you very much for that question. I know a lot of people are now seeking medical attention from public hospitals more than from the private sector. As a result, there is some increased demand for service in our public institutions. I think everything is in place to increase the drugs and to increase equipment for service in our hospitals. Maybe let me try by telling you that we have procured quite a lot of equipment to equip our labs so that people in the private sector, in the public sector, don't have to seek tests in the private sector. We have received quite a lot of laboratory equipment. In some areas, delays have been caused by renovations that need to be done to the infrastructure to suit the modern equipment that we are now purchasing. And as I speak, we have 10 anesthetic machines which need to be deployed in various district hospitals. We also have 67 monitors which have just arrived, which need to be deployed to make sure that we are able to carry out any operations in any of our district hospitals, provincial hospitals, as well as our referral hospitals. And in terms of medicines and some other accessories, we have just received a consignment which is still being cleared, and I hope either by Friday some of the drugs will have been cleared and will be delivered to Natron. We also are expecting a huge consignment worth about $5 million, which has been paid for this week, and we think in 2 weeks' time we should be receiving those drugs. And we are also hoping to pay for another $5 million worth of medicines next week. The delays with that, we were trying to make direct purchases from manufacturers because the middlemen have been causing the prices of medicines to go up and also being beyond reach to most of our citizens. So these are all plans that are in place, and like I said, our target is to say by the end of the year, availability of medicine should reach 70%. We have already moved to this stage to 54%, and we think we will meet our target. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We move on to the last round of 3 questions. Over to you, colleagues. If you are satisfied, we come to the end of today's post-cabinet briefing. Thank you very much. We will meet next week.